Okay, so this is just a quick explanation of what we'll be going through in the MIT training this Friday from 3:30 to 5:30 in case you're interested to come. We'll be going to be looking at strategic bottlenecks, or what is called X factors. So it's what creative innovation your company has that leads to an unfair, massive competitive advantage over your competitors. So there's lots of companies that have X factor, and we're going to have a look at a few. We're going to have a look at specifically 5 case examples: Amazon, Blockbuster, Hyundai, Starbucks, and also an Australian group called Zen Energy Systems. They're from South Australia, and we're going to ask some questions about the bottleneck that existed in their industry and what their question was that they used to actually find out their X factor. These are businesses that have been able to grow massively because they found a specific loophole that gave them a huge advantage over all of their competitors at the time. We're going to then have a look at the different types of bottlenecks. There's customer bottlenecks, so that's looking at the customer perspective about what's stopping customers actually using the existing service. There's also operator bottlenecks, which are the things that are stopping people from going into business and really wanting to do it and do a really, really good job, the things that make it just too hard to be in business in that sector. There's also psychological bottlenecks, and we're going to have a look at what things in different industries have got in the way emotionally for people to make a purchasing decision, and have a look at the Hyundai example there. And the final one is financial bottlenecks. So we'll actually be looking at what's the biggest thing that stops people financially actually being involved in that industry, or what barriers to entry exist that just make it not financially viable to be in business. Then we'll actually have a look at formulating an essential question around a bottleneck that you might see, just about how to do that, and then we'll look at how to actually rewire your brains to be thinking about and scanning for possible answers to the bottlenecks that exist in business that we see every day around us. Then we're going to actually go into the second half of the session, which is to look at a case study about DVDs, just about video in general and how people see plays, and actually do a bit of study and do some case study work. So the first one will be what I call plays. So we're going to make a time series of all the things that have existed as play entertainment. So, you know, all the way from when cavemen drew things on walls and danced around fires, right through to the latest things that people use to make entertainment for people. And we're going to have a look at 4 key questions. What's the time series? What was the bottleneck at each stage, and who dominated it? And then we'll find out how it allowed them to dominate, and then what could be next. And we're going to do that for plays, and then we're going to actually choose a case study. There's a few different people from a few different businesses involved in the session, so we're going to have a look at a different business, and we're going to look at the time series over time, have a look at the bottleneck at each stage, and then have a look at how people dominated each time, and have a quick chat about what could be next. And finally, we're going to have a look at weekly club nights and pub nights in SA, and we're going to just do a bit of a time series, and once again, look at those 4 essential questions and ask ourselves what could be next for clubs in South Australia. So if that sounds like it could be interesting to you, then set aside the time. It's from 3:30 until 5:30 on Friday. There's still 2 spots left, so if you are interested to come along, don't hesitate to give me a call or drop me an email. My number is 041 781 9553.